Hey guys, happy full moon in Sagittarius. I am not asking for any certain number of cards. I'm just asking for whatever message you collected today for this full moon is being or needs to hear. And that is all. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. My face is breaking out because I've been overheated, but it's not me. I know I look flat. being called to pull any more cards. Once I get through reading this, we'll kind of see if I need to do that. Okay, so the first card we have is the Three of Wands. Three of Wands stands for stamina and strength and success. This is the first card of the reading. So the next two cards that we have are two major arcana cards. The first one is the Death card, which is representative of like a spiritual awakening, a dark night of the soul. You're literally shedding like an old version of you and becoming a brand new version. And then right next to it, we have the Fates card, which traditionally this card is the Wheel of Fortune card. And what that means is like the Wheel of Fortune card, even this one with it being called Fates, like the Fates. The low ascend and the high fall. Like we're never meant to stay in one place in life, and the wheel is always spinning. Like the wheel of life is always spinning. So the message of this card is basically to never get comfortable where you're at. Be grateful for where you're at in the time. Like if you're in a really good place, if you're at the high of the wheel, like really take it in for what it is and be grateful, because when that wheel starts turning, you may find yourself at the bottom. But if you've been like in a really rough place lately, or like maybe things haven't really been going in your favor the way you wanted them to, this card is representative that things are turning around. Like the wheel is turning. Like wherever you've been, you're turning with it. Like you're going to another cycle. And that's a good thing. That means that good things are going to be coming for you. With the Three of Wands before those two, this could be representative that right now, like you're in a time of success, or maybe you've been being successful, like here lately, here recently, using your stamina and your strength. You've just been showing up and making sure things are getting done, even through like the turbulence you've been feeling. But now you're kind of realizing that you are going through an awakening, like you are going through a big change inside of yourself, like at a deep soul level. Like you're really old identities that you used to identify with, or the old person, like who you used to be, who you used to be known to be. You're in a time of outgrowing that, realizing that that isn't, that version of you is no longer protecting you or helping you move forward and grow in life. It's now the thing that's holding you back. And you're kind of like just being forced to see like where you need to now like release that old version of yourself, let it go, and find a new version of yourself, a healthier version. This is a time for you to grow and to evolve and to become a better version, and to leave who you used to be or who you've been in the past where it belongs, because that version of you got you through what you've gone through in life. That version of you got you through what you needed to get through with that version of you. But now you have a new version of you blossoming and wanting to come to life that can help you grow and evolve even farther. And with the Fates card, which is traditionally the Wheel of Fortune, that's just a sign that even with this like awakening and this death, the spiritual death that you're going through, it may feel uncomfortable and it may feel scary. Those are normal feelings during this kind of stuff, but there's really no need to be scared, because everything happens for a reason, and we're meant to change. Like change is inevitable. We're meant to grow. We're meant to evolve. We're meant to shed skins. We're meant to shed old versions of ourselves and grow and evolve into more healed versions and healthier versions. So it's nothing to fear. It's actually something to take in, like the experience, and really just try to be present with yourself and try to learn as much about yourself as you possibly can. The next card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles. I do not want to tell you wrong. The Queen of Pentacles represents the ruler through mastery of physical creation and manifestation. This card, it can represent you or someone in your life, but whoever it is, the energy of this person, whether it's you or... Hey, Kaysen! Kaysen! Y'all be kind, please. The energy of this person, like whether it's you or somebody else, because it could be you or it could be someone around you that is a safe place for you, or someone like you look up to, but the energy of this person is a good choice to confide difficulties, quandaries, or emotional pain. So it says if you're feeling disheartened, hey, Kaysen and Harley, you know I'm working, you need to stop. You can play in the room. It says if you're feeling disheartened, ashamed, or a sense of self-loathing, the presence of this person in a reading has come to give you loving affirmation and to remind you that you are worthy, you're going to reach your goals, the hard times you're currently immersed in will pass, and you will find yourself in a much better place if you just keep going. This type of person is not going to talk you through anything without advice, so she is especially helpful if you are looking for ways to move forward. If you're looking for a listening ear, only be aware that this person or this energy isn't going to end the conversation without trying to help you fix the problem. She is invaluable in that capacity, so if you find you need that assistance, go to her and be prepared to bloom under her loving care. And this card represents nurturing, big-hearted, down-to-earth, resourceful, and trustworthy. So this card can, like I said, represent you or someone in your life. Usually this card represents someone in your life. Somebody, it's usually a woman, but just because this is a feminine-based card does not mean that it necessarily stands for a woman in the physical realm, because we are all half feminine, half masculine. So this could represent a man or a female, but I'm getting the energy that it represents a female. Someone that has like a mothering energy to you, and with what you're going through, you may just feel like alone, or you may feel like you're going crazy having to deal with things on your own, and you just need someone to really just listen to what you're feeling, what you're going through, like how it's affecting you, and just to be heard, and just to like be given the space to just be yourself and speak your truth without someone trying to control or manipulate or trying to benefit from it. So whoever this is in your life, it represents someone who is safe, who is trustworthy, who has a lot of knowledge, has like a lot of advice to give because they've been through like things you're going through now, they've been through them in the past. So whoever this person is, don't be afraid to reach out. Like, don't be afraid to reach out to whoever it is and spend some time with them. Ask them for advice, or just ask if you can just come and just like clear your head and like get some things off your chest with someone who's unbiased and who will like actually give you the space to just express yourself. It's a good thing to have. The next card that we have, I love when this card comes out in reverse. It's the Devil card. The Devil card usually represents conscious bondage and addiction to vices, whether that's like alcohol, drugs, materialism, whatever it is. But when it is in reverse, it is significant of you taking control of yourself and not being attached to that conscious anymore. Like, it's basically when this card comes in reverse, it is representative of sobriety, coming back home to yourself and understanding where like the devil in yourself takes a lot more control than the good in yourself, and you're actually realizing that you are in control of yourself, and you have to remember you have to show up for yourself. And whatever it is that you're going through, you're realizing that whatever you've been doing, it represents bondage, materialism, temptation, addiction, and your shadow self. Whatever you've been doing in the past, you've kind of been avoiding your shadow side, your side that's suppressed and repressed, the emotions you suppressed from childhood trauma, your inner child, all that. You've really just been forced, or all you've known is to suppress and to hide that side of yourself. But you're realizing that's actually not what we're meant to do as humans. You can't grow that way. Like, you're only holding things in and suppressing, and that's just going to manifest as illness, and then you're not really going to live long if that goes very far, especially if addiction is in the picture. It can ruin your life. This card in reverse is just representative that it is a time of liberation from your fears and your self-destructive tendencies, a time of sobriety, and a time of coming into pure self-awareness. So that is just a great thing. Whatever it is that you're going through, you are under, like at an intuitive level, like inside, like for some reason you may feel at peace, even though like whatever's going on is hard. And you're like, this is really just uncharted territory, and you know that like you haven't been through this before, and it is kind of scary. You also in your heart know, like, you're just at peace. You're like, I am meant to be going through this right now. I am meant to be shedding that side of myself that's not me anymore, and I am meant to be learning who I really am and bringing myself more into light. So this is really good energy. The next card that we have is the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles represents wealth through effort, maintained by wisdom and generosity. This card is considered the highest of all the money cards in the tarot deck. It holds great achievement reached through management, organization, and effort. When this card appears in a reading, it encourages you to pay attention to your material affairs. It often represents people who exhibit the solid qualities mentioned above. They have the practical energy of the Pentacles with the projected influence of the King. We should take his example as instructive, maintain a calm approach, be a philanthropist, I can't say that word, be dependable, work hard, meet your commitments, pursue your goals with dedication and resolve, and you will reap a verdant garden of rewards. It represents wealth, effort, abundance, generosity, and a leader, being someone who can lead people and give good advice. This card could be representative of you or somebody in your life who holds this kind of energy, who is very organized and professional. They may be in management in some sort, but they're wealthy. They work for what they have, like they put the hard work in. They don't cut corners. They do what they need to do. They do their work. This could be you, or this could be somebody else. It's really just a matter of where this energy is in your life. Remember, this is a more masculine-based card. We are all 50% feminine, 50% masculine, so it could represent a woman or a man, or it could represent yourself. Even though it's masculine, you could be a woman and it could represent your masculine side. You could be a hard worker. You could be someone who isn't afraid to get your work done to earn your money. And you could be someone who is in management, or you like to manage things. You're very organized and you love to put effort in to get the rewards that come with the effort. So this could represent you as well. So keep that in mind. The next card we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is representative of a victim mentality. Whatever you are going through, for some reason, you are feeling like, oh, pity me. Like, pity me. Why am I going through this? Like, even though, like, you know you're meant to be going through this, you still have that side of, like, oh my goodness, like, why am I going through this? Why am I being put through this? Why is this happening to me? You need to try to change your perspective. It's actually very normal as humans for us to have like a victim mentality at first, especially when we first start on an awakening journey or a healing journey to become our best selves. We tend to have a victim mentality. That's just a thing, like a societal norm for everybody in these days, is just to have a victim mentality and be like, oh, pity me, rather than looking at the issue or the obstacles at hand and saying, like, what is this trying to teach me? Like, everything happens for a reason, so what can I learn from this situation? It does represent restriction, powerlessness, negative thoughts, and victim mentality. So you may just be in your head right now with everything, like, you know you're supposed to be going through this, but for some reason, you are still, like, battling mentally. You're kind of just like, oh, pity me. You really need to try to shift your perspective, because victim mentality is not going to help you. It's going to harm you. And it could also help the devil take over again and lead you back into vices and materialism and temptation and hiding yourself in addiction and stuff like that. So make sure that you're trying to challenge these perspectives that you have and change your perspective and try to learn where you can learn. That's the whole point of these awakenings, is to teach us stuff. The next card we have is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups represents nostalgia. You could be feeling a lot of nostalgia from childhood, things you used to go through, the people who raised you, the lessons you were taught from those people, whatever the case may be. This could be tied to your victim mentality as well. It could just be a mix of grief in a sense, where you're like, oh, pity me, someone save me, like, blah, blah, blah. And then you also have nostalgia to childhood and who used to save you in the past. Hey. I can't get the hammer now. Come here. Look at me. Instead of whining, you come in here and you ask me to help you. I don't see any hair. Okay, stick your tongue out so I can see. I can't help you. Come here. Stick your tongue out. There's no hair. I do not see a hair anywhere in your mouth. You need to calm down, bud. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. But with the nostalgia and the victim mentality, you may just be like, oh, pity me, why is this happening to me? And maybe in the past or in your childhood or growing up, you had people who would save you from turbulent times, who would like basically be like, oh, come here, baby, here's a bunch of money. Let me just take care of you and, you know, give you everything that makes you happy and blah, blah, blah. And you can just avoid the pain. It'll be over soon. You may be missing that in a sense. You're actually maturing and realizing that that's not a reality of life. We're not meant to be saved. We're meant to go through our obstacles, our own unique obstacles, in our own unique lives, so we can learn the lessons that we're meant to learn while we're on this earth. And that nostalgia may be tied to your victim mentality. So you may be holding on to a lot of things in the past. You need to understand that the past is in the past for a reason. You can be grateful for the lessons that you learned in the past, but holding on to it is not going to help you. It's only going to hinder you and hold you back because it's gone. Like it's time. That version of you is trying to shed as well. So with changing your perspective, it's helping you shed that old version of yourself. The next card we have is the Two of Cups, and it's in reverse. Two of Cups is usually representative of a romantic union. With it in reverse, this is representing arguments, lack of connection, lack of commitment, and broken partnerships. Um, this could be representative of your relationships as a whole, whether it's romantic or platonic. But I'm getting energy that these are specifically romantic relationships. This is a very romantic card. So whether you're married or in a relationship of any sort, you may be facing a lot of arguments, not feeling connected with the person, not wanting to commit to the person anymore, not caring to, or maybe they're not committed to you anymore, and broken partnerships where what used to be good or what you used to put a lot of energy to, you're kind of now just like, what is the point of this? Like, this is not what I want, or it's not what they want, or both of you mutually don't want it anymore. You're not happy anymore, and you know it's really just causing more pain than happiness. And that's really what this card represents with it being in reverse. So keep that in mind with your romantic relationships. It may be a time to make some major changes so you can grow. Maybe that relationship is what you needed in the past, and now it's actually hindering you and your partner. The next card we have is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords represents theft and sneaking around. It represents deceiving or being deceived. This can also include plagiarism, identity theft, or appropriating another's ideas, stealing internet passwords, PIN codes, or etc. Sometimes the Seven of Swords is not a sign of theft, but evasion. Perhaps this occurs in order to avoid confrontation, hide from a shameful secret, run from a commitment, eschew responsibilities, or even to withdraw from a promising romantic relationship for fear of intimacy or pain. So what that means is it may not be like it could represent theft, literal physical theft. It could represent dishonor or theft from like plagiarism, like stuff like that. It can also represent evasion, where like you know who you are, or there's someone in your life who knows who they are and what they need, and they're kind of just like, they're running from accountability and responsibility. Like they know they've done wrong. They know that they've done a lot of things wrong, and they're just holding on to those secrets, and like they just feel a lot of shame. And instead of like coming clean, they're wanting to run away from it in a sense. But also, when this card comes up in a reading, it says to consider if you're the deceiver or if you're the deceived. Are you sneaking away with something that is not yours, covering your tracks, afraid to face the music and accountability of your actions? If you are the deceiver, consider whether the consequences are worth those actions. Perhaps you are burdening yourself with problems you don't really need by engaging in actions that perpetuate suffering and don't really solve anything. If, in looking over your life, you see yourself as the one who is being deceived or fear as much, now is the time to take the mental power of the swords for yourself and protect what you value. You may have to play dirty also for yourself and protect what you value. Oh wait, hold on, I'm sorry, I just reread that. You may have to play dirty, also having to lie and deceive in order to keep what belongs to you. In this way, our possessions have a way of possessing us, tricking us into thinking that the more we have, the more secure we'll feel. If we base our sense of security on what we have, though, the truth is we will never really feel secure. It represents theft, dishonor, strategy, running away, and duplicity. My intuition, just reading this message and being the vessel for this message to come through, is that this card goes both ways, in a sense, for this collective. I'm getting a lot of energy that this collective is the deceiver, not the one being deceived, but instead the one deceiving. But I'm also getting energy that that deceiving was kind of taught in a sense to this collective, like maybe through childhood trauma people deceived you most of your life and like abused you, like hurt you, were just unethical towards you, were just not kind, like very just manipulative, mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, even financially abusive. um, and they people who like may have like deceived you in the past for their own good because they didn't want to let you go and let you be a part of someone else's life because they saw what you had and they wanted it. And maybe throughout that pain you've become those people. You've now become like an image of them, and you now know that you've done deceiving as well. Like maybe you have been deceived, but you're just as guilty as those people because you've done things just as bad, if not worse. And you're kind of shameful and you're afraid to like face yourself and the accountability. But the trick is, don't be afraid, because repressing that's not going to do any good, and you only have one life to live. And like accountability, releasing things you've done, releasing secrets, releasing shame and guilt that you hold on to, and bringing it into light and being honest with yourself about who you are, who you've been, what you've done to people, and actually coming to light and owning what you've done. And maybe even just like confessing to people, maybe trying to make things right. That could be like a good path for you. The next card we have is the Seven of Cups. This is representative that there are many options available. You need to choose wisely. This represents wishful thinking, options, perspective, and identity. With this card, with all this energy going on, you're shedding who you used to be. You're wanting to become a better person, especially with the devil in reverse, where it's like sobriety and becoming into self-awareness and coming into a new version of yourself and letting go of the past, letting go of nostalgia, things that used to hold you back, old beliefs or mindsets that were drilled into you as a child from family members or caretakers. You're learning that whatever romantic relationship you're in right now is not really where you're meant to be. Like it may have just been a comfort zone for you. It may have just been like more of a enablement relationship where the two of you kind of avoided accountability in the music together, and you thought that was love, but instead you were just enabling each other and holding each other back from growing the whole time. And now you're kind of like in a form of wanting to come out of that. You're understanding that you've been deceived, yes, but you don't need to have a victim mentality about it, because you're just as guilty as the people who have deceived you. You're just as guilty as them. Like you're not any better than them. So the best thing to do in the situation is really just to handle it differently than they're handling it. You may know a lot of people who have deceived but refuse to be accountable and responsible. And the lesson for you could be to do it differently and to break that cycle and say, you know what? It ends with me. Like I've done that deceiving too. I'm not any better than you, but I want to be better than you. So I'm going to come clean. I'm going to do what I need to let go of this shame and guilt and take accountability of who I've been and understand that I don't have to continue to be that person, but I can grow past that person and become better. So keep that in mind. With the Seven of Cups, there's a lot of options in front of you. It's like wishful thinking. You're kind of in a place where you're like, I'm coming into a new version of myself. Who do I want to be? Like, what do I want to do with my life? What direction do I want to go? Where do I want to live? Like, that's normal feelings for when you're going through like an awakening and becoming a new version of yourself. You want to know, like, it's almost like a feeling of excitement and anxiety at the same time. Like, there's just a lot. There's a lot of options and choices for you to make. My advice for that is to just take your time and to go slow and really stay grounded with yourself. That's going to be a very important thing. The next card we have is the Four of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. The Four of Pentacles represents attachment to material possessions and pursuits. In reverse, it represents relaxing one's grip, being generous, and financial loss. So financial loss doesn't always mean bad. Not all the time. It means that you're understanding that holding on to finances and money and materialism, material objects, doesn't really serve you good. It doesn't really do good for you, and it doesn't make you any more powerful than anyone else around you. Truly, it doesn't make you any more worthy than anyone else around you. Every human is worthy of everything on this earth. Like, we're all on our own unique paths. And you may be holding on to materialism. You're afraid to take risks, you're afraid to do good things with your money. You're just like very like hoarding in a sense. And with it in reverse, now you're kind of like, you know what? This doesn't bring me happiness, hoarding this. Like, why am I hoarding this? You're realizing how many people around you could help. You're realizing how many people around you struggle just as much as you do, even with you holding on to that money. But money is something that a lot of people on this earth struggle with. And maybe you're seeing that, and maybe you're understanding that you could do some more good in life, instead of holding on to a bunch of finances and resources that, yes, you use, and yes, they're yours. But you're also understanding that they're overflowing. And what's the point in being like cocky in a sense and holding on to that when you can actually help others advance in life, and you can help others get further in life, or get on their feet better, or just people you care about. If you know that they're struggling a little bit and you're just like, you know what, this is someone that I love and I want to help them out, like stuff like that. It's a very good card. It's representative of becoming detached to money and materialism, and that's a great thing. The next card we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is representative of options as well. This represents basically the universe is handing you four cups, four solutions, or four options, four paths for you to walk down now, for you to take onto another journey in your life. It also represents being dissatisfied with those choices. The trick is to look at the options in front of you, choices you have that you can make, solutions for your situation and stuff. Maybe you are dissatisfied because you're like, oh, this isn't what I want, this isn't what I deserve, like this isn't, but that's all like rooted from like childhood trauma and past beliefs that you've had. The trick is to try to like change your perspective. Maybe look at these options that the universe is giving you and try to be grateful for them, and try to look at the pros and cons of each one, and understand that you're going to have to make a decision. And being indecisive is a decision in itself. Like, you're only holding yourself back. So don't be afraid to make a decision. You need to take accountability and responsibility. Like, really look at the options, weigh the pros and cons, and understand that the power is in your hands. You have to make a choice. Like, it's up to you. No one's going to do it for you. The next card we have is the Tower card. The Tower card is representative of basically reality being shaken up. Everything you've known in the past is now not that. Like, what you believed to be the truth of your reality throughout the past, however many years, you're now realizing none of that was true. Like, there was more truths to it. You were manipulated in certain ways. You didn't know certain truths that are now coming to light, and you're kind of just like in a moment of like you're just like, what the heck is this? What is going on? Everything you've known is just, everything's just crumbling in a sense. That's literally what the Tower card is representative of. It's like, it's like a lightning strike that comes down in your life and hits like the center. I don't know, I'm about to refer to Clash of Clans, but like how you have like a town hall in the center of the village, like a city hall. It's like the lightning comes down and crashes the center of like everything you've known, and then everything is just freaking shattered and nothing makes sense, and things are coming to light that are changing everything you believed or thought about certain people or yourself, stuff like that. The trick is definitely to try to stay grounded through that energy. The next is our Knight of Swords, and it represents swift, unstoppable action. This card, it represents intelligence, wit, idealism, assertiveness, and courage. This can represent you or someone else. I'm getting energy that this is an energy inside of you that you're being called to nourish. You're being called to notice this energy in yourself and notice that you do have the power to make whatever actions you need to make for your highest good. And usually some actions are best made by not holding back. Like, you weigh the pros and cons, you know, like, okay, this is the action I need to take. And once you know that that's the action, don't second guess. Don't second guess yourself. Don't second guess your intuition. And don't overthink it, and don't waste time. Like, if you know that it's a good decision, you need to step up and just put the action in and go for it. The next card you have is the Four of Swords. This card is representative of a solitary time of rest It can represent contemplation, quiet, preparation, and meditation. So with that card, with the Tower card coming in and everything you're feeling and everything that's going on with the Wheel of Fortune moving, like you're coming into a better time, you're going through an awakening, you want to be sober, you want to become more self-aware, and you have all of these like inner battles you're facing that you're ready to just tackle and let go of and release for good, like just let that side of you go. With the Tower moment, the Tower card is really just like bringing truths to light, not only about yourself, but people you've been involved with romantically, platonically, co-workers, just community. You're really seeing a big truth about a lot of people and a lot of things. And with that being said, you have the opportunity to do what's right for yourself and those around you. That's also like, that could refer back to becoming truthful for where you've deceived, maybe coming clean and trying to take accountability and right your wrongs. The Knight of Swords is just a sign that, like, now that you're seeing everything for what it is, it's on you to move forward. You could sit in the rumble of everything, like the rubble, and just be like, oh my goodness, everything I knew, nothing was true, like all of this is just fake. Or you can get up and you can go, hey, usually people sit in this and have a victim mentality, but like, what is this teaching me? Like, I don't want to be this person anymore. I want to grow. Like, I want to get up and I want to move forward and I want to do what I need to do to become self-aware and change my toxic traits and become healthier. You want to break cycles and stuff. And this card is just showing that, like, you have that energy in you. So once you see everything that you need to see, you see the truth of the situations. And once you really take time to think about, like, the options, the solutions you have, choices you have, and you weigh the pros and cons and you know what's best, do it. Like, there's no point in sitting back and just moping and trying to play victim when you're actually not a victim. Get up, take some action, do what you need to do what you know is right. And as you do that, you're going to come into this time of rest where it's going to be, yes, you struggled in the past, but doing what's right, you are going to come to a place where you're taking back control and taking back power of yourself and your life and your path. And as you come into this place, you're going to feel a lot of fatigue and just being tired from drain, from your past, your childhood traumas, things you used to believe, things you used to think were true that were actually never true, stuff like that. And it's okay to let yourself rest. Rest is productive. We need rest. It's good to have a cycle of rest and replenishment and also action and going and getting things done. It's good to have that cycle. But also with everything going on, you're going to need this rest. Like, mentally, you need to make the choices you need to make. You need to do what you need to do, but you also need to allow yourself to listen to your body and your mind and allow yourself to rest when you need to. You need that. You need to come home to yourself and understand that you need to take care of yourself on a very deep level, and you're coming into that. The final two cards we have are Three of Cups and the Ace of Swords. With you taking this action, this swift action, and doing what needs to be done, it's going to help you propel into this next version of yourself. With the Three of Cups is representative of friendship and community. And with the Four of Swords, with like coming into a time of rest after struggle, you're maybe going to be finding some friends or some community and people who may see you for who you are trying to be, and they want to support you, and they want to do that in a healthy manner in a relationship. And it doesn't have to be romantic, just like platonic friends. And it's going to be very mutual. You're going to find yourself in like a sense of community where you do find your group of people who are meant to be in your life and support you, and you're meant to help support them, and you're meant to help each other grow and thrive and continue on in your life past what you've been in the past. With the Ace of Swords, with this being your journey, and the Ace of Swords being the last card, the Ace of Swords, all aces are favorable of hope and new beginnings, but Ace of Swords is just it's significant of good times are coming ahead of you. And hold on, I want to make sure. Ace of Swords is representative of mental force, truth, justice, fortitude, breakthroughs, and new beginning. This is beautiful because with all this energy and you are ready to do the work you need to do, and at the end, you're going to be doing good work. You're not going to be the deceiver anymore. You're not going to be the victim of being deceived anymore. You're ready to take your power back and say, hey, like, that's not me. That's not who I identify with. I want to be better. And on this new journey that you're embarking on, you're gonna want to, you're ready to just like bear it all, to just be naked, like spiritually. Just let people, like, you're not afraid for people to see you for who you are and know who you've been, because you want to be better and you want to help bring justice to things that you know are wrong, people who are being done wrong. You're going to have a lot of mental breakthroughs where you're going to understand that, like, you were being held back, but you were also the one holding yourself back, and that you are ultimately the only one in control of your life and where it's headed. And you're going to be living a more honest and truthful life for yourself. And that is just beautiful in itself. I hope this reading finds everyone it is meant to find. If it resonates with you, if you would like to give me feedback, I would love to have feedback. Also, I do still offer private readings to people who need them. If you find yourself in a dark place or just struggling, I have right under 400 spreads for tarot and oracle. You can shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. Other than that, remember, it's a full moon. Full moons are time of releasing and letting go and rest. They are a time of rest. When full moons are going on, this energy is very heavy. You're going through a lot, and you need to allow yourself to release the emotions that are being called to release. Give yourself grace and patience, but also don't be scared of this energy you're feeling. Understand that this energy you're feeling is for a reason. You're meant to be going through this so you can become a better version and put this version of yourself behind you. And therefore, you'll find in the future, when you notice people going through similar situations that you're going through now, you'll be able to kind of give some advice and lead other people in a better direction than what they've been led in their past. So these times of turbulence that we go through, like the tower moment and the spiritual awakening and stuff, like the death card, they always come with lessons. Like, they come to disrupt your life and to shake up everything you've known, everything you've believed about yourself and people around you and just the world in general. But they're meant to do that because there are lessons to be learned, there are perspectives to be gained, there are cycles to be ended, there are people, relationships, old versions of yourself to be shed and released. And it's all a beautiful thing. It's literally the cycle of life. We go through these awakenings and these tower moments nonstop in our lives. The trick is to learn how to address them and how to navigate them while also staying grounded and taking care of yourself and showing up for yourself first and doing what's right by everybody involved. So I believe in you. Remember, you are worthy. You deserve everything in life that you want in life. You can have it if you just do the work. It's that simple. If you guys need me, shoot me a message and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.